There is nothing that Donald Trump, Carolyn Levitt, or anyone in this administration can do to cover up the president's very, very obvious cognitive and physical decline. Actually, whatever they do to try and cover up Donald Trump's obvious dementia, his inability to walk, his cankles, his bruised hands, only brings more attention to the obvious health crisis that he is in. And that is what we saw today during a fake Oval Office meeting, which was exposed for not actually happening in an effort to prop up Donald Trump weekend at Bernie style and pretend this guy who is falling asleep before our very eyes is awake at the wheel. He's not. And it just got exposed. The crisis is clear. We're going to get into it all. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video. And if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our channel. Now, before we get into this fake Trump meeting that was just exposed through a leaked image, I want to start with Lawrence O'Donnell, who is the only one in the mainstream media talking about Donald Trump's health struggle. It's really just Lawrence O'Donnell at this point, isn't it? It is just him. He's the only one who has been talking about Epstein consistently, Donald Trump's cognitive decline, and almost more importantly than both of those things, the mainstream media's complete lack of coverage of either of them. You know, I always say this, it's not just enough to be an independent media outlet, to be doing stuff on YouTube, on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Substack. You also have to be working to not align yourself with the mainstream press, to not just do business as usual, to cover the stories that people don't want to talk about or are being stopped from talking about. And that is why every opportunity that the press gets, they should be asking about Donald Trump's health. Because when they do ask, Carolyn Levitt gets very strange answers like this, which kind of illuminate why there was a fake meeting in the Oval Office today. So we don't know why Donald Trump got an MRI. And we don't know why, at first, Carolyn Levitt didn't tell us there was an MRI. Why wouldn't she tell us why there was an MRI? And why wouldn't she say there was an MRI if it wasn't that important? It seems like if you won't tell us about it, and then you won't tell us why it happened, it's because it was important, especially because they do have those machines at the White House. So I think it must have been something deeper. More tests must have been run on. And on what is the question? I think we can guess. Donald Trump's pudding brain, his cankles, his hands. I don't know. Any part of Trump that is completely shut down at this point. Man, we're praying it really shuts down a lot faster. But Donald Trump clearly needs people to pretend like he has a functioning brain and a functioning body, which is why Senator Markwayne Mullin put out this tweet, which is completely blown up in his face. Senator Markwayne Mullin wrote, "Working through the weekend with Donald Trump. It's always an honor to be in the Oval Office. I